Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-14-2, the Tier 8 Soviet SPG, and this one's located on the north spawn of Cliff under the command of Saadharta. Now, you're wondering why it's yellow. Yeah, it's a school bus. This Arty is known as the school bus, and Sir Rusty made a school bus skin for us to make it look like a school bus, a big yellow school bus that you might see in America. Even got the stop signs on it. Okay. In actual fact, it was called the Special Purpose Heavy Triplex and was basically an SU-14-1 with a cabin around it and a radio so it could actually contact people. And there's one of these at the Soviet Tank Museum, the Russian Tank Museum at Kubinka. In fact, that's where it fired from in the defense of Moscow during the Great Patriotic War. Okay, well, we're looking for targets and we're looking in the enemy area, and there's a set of bushes there where enemy Arty do tend to congregate just in front of that house. There's also a set of bushes over on the far side, the far west, so the far left of the screen. And I think that Saadharta is being careful. Whoa! There was a tracer there coming from that direction. And there's another one coming from the bushes over to the other side. And he got a hit! He got a direct hit on one of the enemy. And I think, well, there's two enemy RT in the team. A GW Tiger P and a Lorraine 15551. So one of them was out in the open and just got hit by Saadharta. The other one's in the bushes. And he may not know that his teammate was just hit. And there's another tracer. And it's behind that bush. Just slightly to the left, I think. We might see the tracer from the other RT very shortly. Okay, Saadharta's fired a round in. And it lands on the ground. Now, I think the enemy RT was slightly behind and to the left of that bush. I think he was firing through the bush at our tanks on the hill. But I'm sure that that RT knows that we're firing at them now. Okay, so we're waiting to see the tracer again. Now, there is a little trick. I have told it before. Switch off your V, press your V key, switch off all aids so that you can see it clearly. The tracer will stand out very distinctly and you'll know where the enemy RT is when they fire. It's just a little trick that we all picked up. Watch for the tracer. As soon as you see it, click the V key again and you can get your visuals up and alter the aim so you can hit it. There it is. He's put the visuals on again. Slightly to the left, I'd say. That's going to go slightly to the right of the target, but he hit the Lorraine 15551 and killed it. Yes, it was, the shell landed and splashed that 15551. It was just slightly to the left of where he aimed. Right, but he's now gone from counter battery to tank attack. And he's looking for the enemy tanks. In fact, no, he's gone back to counter battery again. Okay, so we press the V key again. Again, the tracer should show up very distinctly, very easily, as soon as they fire. If they're sitting in this corner, there are a few other places that Arty can fire from, but this is probably one of the best ones. No, he's now decided to go back to shooting at the tanks. We've got a Lorraine 40 ton. He's dialing in. Rounds out. Oh, he killed him! He took out that Lorraine 40 ton completely. This is a tier 10 game, by the way. That was a tier 8 premium medium that he just took out. He's gone back to counter battery again. I'll switch the V key so you can look to see for that target. Does it show up? This is one of the most effective ways of actually searching for the tracer. If you listen as well, sometimes you can hear the tracer as a whoosh as it goes out. Okay, he's now aiming at an IS-3 going up the hill. Lining him up. Rounds out. Good shot. Yep, splashed him for 733, but he only receives 198. Wargaming has shortchanged us again. Doesn't award the full amount of hit points that he did in damage. They really need to get their act together on that. If we do that much damage, we should be awarded that much damage. Now, I think he thinks that the enemy Arty has moved to the second firing position, which is a little further over. There's the IS-3 again. It looks like he was going to go for a kill shot there. Instead, he switched to an Object 430U, which is a tier 10 Soviet medium. Rounds out. Looks good. 518 hit points off him. But he can't back up any further. Ideally, he ought to change firing position, but he feels comfortable with this, so stick with it if you feel comfortable. But be aware, because the enemy Arty may be looking for you. And there was a sounded like an enemy Arty firing in there. Yes, after all that counter battery, they may be looking for you. That's one of the problems you get sometimes. The 430 is in the shade of the columns, or that temple. Can't get that at the moment. In fact, there's no enemy tanks we can see at the moment. But I think there's one place where we can be fairly certain there is an enemy tank. And if he looks in grid square K4, or K5 rather, there's probably an enemy tank up there. Now, I just saw the tree knocked down, so I think the 430U is still around the other side of that rock. But I feel almost certain that we're about to see an enemy tank destroyer at K5. Because our Object 257 and Ferdinand are moving further west on the south side of the map. Now he's gone back to counter battery again. And somebody's indicating that it's coming from grid square K2. And that would indicate that it's that set of bushes, or near that set of bushes, is where the GW Tiger P is. And the Object 430U, oh, he's just taken out our Object 257 and our Ferdinand. That's very bad news. There he is. And just took a big hit. Our round goes out, and no, we didn't get the kill. But he is stunned. There's an Object 2684 going up the hill. There's a fairly long reload on this gun because it's the 203mm howitzer that this Arty's got. It's 1050 alpha that it can do. But it is a long reload, over 30 seconds on the reload. Okay, 268's up by the hill, lining up a shot. Got a bit of reticule bloom because there's very narrow arc of fire, and that's common with a lot of Soviet Artys. But he did splash him for 152. And the Object 430 on the enemy team has been killed by our Hawk 30 up on top of the hill. And now we've got a shot at a Conqueror. Okay, lined up. It's going to take the shot. Rounds out, and it goes long, and unfortunately he doesn't pick up anything there. Now that 2684 has actually gone around the lighthouse and has come out the other side, and now he's attacking the 60 TP. The Hawk's trying to get a shot at him. We can get a shot at him from here. 60 TP's using that rock for cover. Oh, he's going to have to dance around the rock, though, to stop the 268 from getting shots on him. We're almost loaded. 268 is tracked. Rounds out straight away. And that's a kill shot. Direct hit on the front of that 268. Overwhelmed his armour, wiped him out. We're one tank up on the enemy now. Okay, we've got a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV moving up the hill towards the... in fact, actually, he's headed to the east. Now he's headed north. I think he's seen the 60 TP, and we've got an E75 in the western pass. And a Tortoise in there as well. Now, this is going to be interesting. Tortoise doesn't react very well to HE. Rounds out. Well, it hit, and, well, he did do some damage. Only 95 hit points, though. And it's that stun that's really going to slow him down. Saadharta's decided to move position, and I think it's a good reason for doing that, because the enemy are coming through the western pass, and the E75 is joining the Tortoise. And the Tortoise is now trying to bully the T30. The E75's been killed. We can't shoot at the Tortoise without damaging the T30, but if we fire behind the Tortoise, we can stun him. And that will help the T30. I think Saadharta's going to wait until he sees who wins the battle. And if the Tortoise wins, he'll shoot. Okay, he doesn't need to shoot because the Tortoise is dead. There's two enemies, two tank destroyers, and one Arty left on the enemy team. As far as we know, the GW Tiger P has actually been badly damaged, because I think at least one of Saadharta's shots did get near it. We know that the Waffenträger was last seen going around the White House to the on the cliff side, on the cliff edge side. There he is. He's actually got quite close to us. Dialing in. Well, it's a splash hit for 174. And the Waffenträger was taken out immediately afterwards by the T30. Jagdtiger's happy. He's checking affirmative. So it's 4 versus 2 now. The enemy's got a Striv and, of course, the GW Tiger P. Now, I'm betting that Striv is probably in grid square K5, because from up there he can watch anyone who's actually going down the western pass southwards towards the cap, and of course his teammate in the GW Tiger P is probably down there and would spot anyone he was approaching. I think it very unlikely that the Striv would try to attack across the open ground, and that's the 2-minute warning. So if we're going to win by capping, we're going to need to make a move on. The T30 is already on his way to the enemy cap. Jagdtiger is also driving that way. It might actually help if Saadharta and the Lorraine 15551, especially the Lorraine, because he's a much faster Arty. In fact, he could drive to the enemy cap in less than a minute. There's the Strip. It's been spotted. He's not where I thought he would be, but we can certainly hit him from here, and rounds out. This will be bad for him. It is very bad for him. He's dead. 261 hit points. That means there's only one enemy left. It's the Arty. GW Tiger P. He's got 1 kill, so we know he's reasonably good, but we're going to find out how many hit points he's actually got left to see how many times Saadharta hit him, or at least how much he was health he lost. That's the minute hooter. Getting tense. There's the GW. Oh, he was just killed. So we'll have to wait for the end of battle results to see exactly how much damage he did to that GW. But it is a victory. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Saadharta in the SU-14-2. In fact, it's his first ace tanker in this vehicle because it's got the scrolls underneath. That tells me it's the first one. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He managed to get 4 exactly, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 18 in that battle, and the win 8 for the battle was 3,818, which is super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score. Oh, before we do that, let's have a look at GW Tiger. Yes, he did hit it. He splashed it for 423 hit points. So he probably had very little hit points left at the end of the game. And so it was an easy kill for the T30 to take him out of the game. Wow, that was impressive. And let's have a look at the team score now then. Well, we can see on the team score that the highest damage actually went to the Object 430U, and I'm sure that Saadharta actually did hit that 430U. 3,697 hit points went to him, and 3,396 went to the GW Tiger P that Saadharta hit as well. So obviously he was quite a good player. Saadharta managed to get 2,643 hit points, which puts him a bit further down the table in terms of damage. But where he isn't further down the table is he actually shared the top with the Object 430U. Both had 4 kills, and then the T30 had 3, and he picked up the Spartan medal. When it came to base XP, it was Saadharta who got the highest amount. Tier 8 in a Tier 10 game, he got 1,237 base experience points, 948 for the Hawk 30 and 930 for the T30. He fired 13 rounds in that game, got 4 direct hits, 1 penetration and 13 splash. Damage of 2,643 hit points, of which 2,469 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 4, did stun assistance of 1,983 hit points off 9 stuns. Now we've got a bit of a problem with the results on the credits and the experience at the moment. This is due to the update 1.5. We don't know what's actually being done about it, but what I can say is according to the figures here, 37,024 credits for the battle. He was fined 330, is that 338 or 336? Difficult to read. I think it's a 6. It is a 6. And total amount for the battle was then 36,688 credits, and after resupply of ammunition, and this ammo is expensive, he still had a profit balance of 11,858 credits. He received 1,237 XP, and there was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all the experience points he took away. But very nice for him to ace it. Congratulations on getting your first ace in this vehicle. I always like it when you get the first ace, you think, yep, I've done it, I've mastered it, I've got it. Okay, so if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.